I mean, as a parent, it's really boring.
I love baseball, but yeah. I don't like-
y'all
but-
had the Barons game.
Yeah, we had the Barons game, but
Oh, it's fun.
but having said that, I don't like watching kids play any
That's
sports.
what I'm saying. As a parent, it's really
Like-
unless your kid's a pitcher, which Will did pitch, so that's fun. Hey Nick.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, Nick. Good to see you. How are you?
Agenda for Monday night.
Let's so turn around. Nice calendar right now.
Yeah.
He really
I hear
moved
you.
up.
I got in late Saturday night. I didn't one of them.
Finance Committee meeting for June 3rd, 2024. Council Jones, Waltney, Allamon, Smith,
Here.
Hart. So you got three.
All right, hold on to a quorum. Can I get a motion to dispense with the reading and approve the minutes as distributed by Mr. Sechrist?
So moved.
Motion from Mr. Almond, second from Mr. Gwaltney. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, 3-0. Those are approved. All right, old business 200623, request for consideration of a city manager. We don't really have any new information, but Alex, do we want to talk about the signatures?
I'm sorry, talk about that.
For city manager.
So we've got a couple of events coming up, starting tomorrow night. We've got one here, where Sam Gaston's coming to speak, and then another one, Nick. You got this better than me.
Friday, June 14th, lunchtime frame, so it's gonna be 11:30 to 12:30. Well, presentation starts at 11:30. We'll be here starting at 11, answering questions and, walking through maps and so forth. But that's gonna feature Gretchen DeFonte, who's the city manager of Pelham.
Okay.
And then President Wyatt doing an overview of our plan.
So, if y'all will, just, spread word about those around, and, then we're going to, I'll talk with each of you about, something as well. I don't wanna make it too much of a city activity, but, I'll talk to each of you a little bit individually tonight about, some goals with regard to the petition.
Do we know how many we need to get?
So I just counted, and there are 200, we have in this building, we have 288 signatures, and, Beverly LaBeouf is bringing some tomorrow. Margaret Ann Pyburn has some, that she is going to get up here, and, Lindsay Chitwood has some, we don't know how many. So we're hoping that once we get the signatures from those three, were those signatures?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got 11. but-
Well, come on, hand them over.
Yeah, we'll take 'em.
That is now, we now have 299, so.
So how many do
scratch
we
that.
need is what I keep
It's a
trying to find out.
So,
It's
the number is,
I can't remember the exact number, but it's around 550.
yeah. So, we're
Halfway there.
we're halfway there, a little more than halfway there, but, and like Alex said, we kind of talked through some ideas about what that might look like, that we'll discuss, not in committee meeting, but kind
Sure.
of, since, our charge is not to advocate for a position from the city standpoint, but as individual counselors and people, citizens, we absolutely can. Thank you for these.
Have any of them been validated yet, or are we just gonna wait till we get?
Validate them all.
All at the same time, so once they're all collected, then we send them to the state. to be
Probate court
validated.
does that.
Yeah,
So-
Okay, well, would it not, okay.
I mean, they're not gonna take them piecemeal. I mean, they're gonna.
So
learn.
I thought early on
Oh,
that
you
we
mean
had
compare-
information,
Yeah, so validating really is something different. You're talking about comparing them to the
making
list
sure
of
they
voters.
voted and that they're,
The ones, we haven't done them all, but the ones we've seen that we have done that with have been voters.
Okay.
But we keep getting some, so we haven't done all of them.
okay.
Do they
But
have to
we're
vote in
making
the
sure
Homewood?
that we look at
They have to have
them.
voted in the last municipal election.
In the Homewood?
In the last
Yes.
Homewood municipal election.
Okay, I'm
Yes,
just- I
that
got
would be
some
vital.
people who moved from Mountain Brook to Homewood, they said they'd love to sign, but they signed.
Yeah,
voted.
not, if they need to have voted in the
Okay.
2020 Homewood election municipal election.
So
That's what
we'll
I
check
figured.
that before we send it out.
Correct, before we send it to the probate court.
Is there any way that we could, and I don't know if we're already doing this, but in terms of the forums, do we have a city text app that we can just alert residents so that we increase awareness of the actual forum?
So
Is
you
that something
have
we
the
can do?
Everbridge, can you send out those, well, and also, well, let me ask that, are we allowed to do that?
Yeah, so that's the question.
It's a
I think we're allowed to send it out for an informational
Forum.
forum, and I think we need to be careful about the wording that we put on there, but I'm happy to talk with Bo about that.
Okay,
I think that is an excellent idea. I sent my newsletter out today, but I think anything we can do. to
I think
get
that
more out.
official city messaging about the forum, which is educational,
right,
would be good.
and then
Good.
Brian can also scroll that, right, Brian, on the homepage for the city?
I have been, yes.
Okay, and
All
can
the
we-
information has been on the website.
Okay, and then can we add the fact that we're doing these two forums tomorrow night and
Yes,
on
they're
June
there.
14th?
We've also done them on, posted on
Social
social
media?
as well.
Okay, perfect.
Came across, Homewood Star online, it came across there as well, whoever, somebody put it there.
Okay, good, yeah, so, like, we'll be talking to individual folks about what the next steps and the path forward looks like, but, thank you to everybody who has worked on that and getting signatures, that is always good, and so we'll carry that item over, to continue to discuss that as we go forward. New business, 07-05-24, request to upgrade the PC network tech position to a network systems administrator, coming from our new IT director, Brandon Sims. Brandon, take the floor.
Good evening, everyone. So after reviewing the police department's data center and kind of getting a better understanding of the technical complexities that they have, and the level of support that they need, I don't think it would be a good idea for us to put a PC tech in that position. Currently, we're outsourcing through another company for a part-time role through somebody who's actually has worked with the police department in the past. So he has a wealth of knowledge about how their stuff works. But they have an entire virtualized data center, enterprise storage, networking equipment. They have a lot of things that are going over there. And I think that if we put a PC tech person in that role, they're going to quickly be overwhelmed. And I think that it would be better for us to upgrade that position to someone who can not only serve better in the immediate role to their support to the police department, but that could also pitch in to help support the infrastructure across the city.
Right.
So the result would be moving that position from, it would move from a grade 23 to a grade 28, which results in a difference of $7.38 for step one. So, which,
What's the total difference in salary then?
So the annual for step one on the PC Tech is $55,556 $80, and the annual for step one on the network admin would be $70,907.20.
So about a
15K
15,000.
different, yeah.
Okay.
Which still, even if we upgrade that position, we're still coming in, if not half, close to half of what we're paying just to outsource part-time right now.
Right.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
And Brandon, do you know from the personnel board side, is there a list right now? Oh,
I do not know.
Thank you.
I do
Thank
not
you.
know. I wanted to make sure that we were okay to upgrade it.
Before
And
you looked, okay, I just was wondering if you had any idea if there was a list out there of folks.
Where would we move the money from?
Hey, finance people.
Where would we move the money from, get the money from if we choose to
Upgrade the position, like where would we be moving the money for to,
Is it new money?
Is the money already budgeted for the other position?
yes.
so that's already
So
budgeted.
you gotta remember, you can move it because you're already almost, you over halfway through with the fiscal year.
Right.
So you can move the money from the position that's not filled into that one to complete this year.
But
Just
what we-
remember,
what we did-
And
how
then
quickly could we get away from the part-time position? I mean, is there any complexities there?
Sorry, say that again.
Like, you said that we're currently outsourcing for a part-time person. How quickly can we move from one to the other?
depending on the list.
Some of that depends on, on the list, how quickly we can get somebody in-house. I would recommend that we give the new person at least 30 days, but I would prefer probably 60, maybe 30, within we cut back to even half of the part-time. But just giving them access to Steve so that they can absorb that knowledge and get that firsthand training.
So it wouldn't be just new money available right away? 'Cause
Well,
we're
and
gonna
like-
keep that person, there's gonna be some overlap there.
Right, well, so like Berkeley said,
It's not new money.
It's not new
yeah,
money, you're just
the money's
moving
already,
old money.
right,
That's
right.
all you're doing, it's transferring it from one.
We're just moving it from
basically
one
from
line to another
another.
line.
We should
That's
be able
all
to
you're
finish
doing.
the year
And
with
then
what's
build it into
allocated
the
for the
budget.
network tech, and
Yeah.
then we can budget for next year.
You got-
And we can
you
probably
got
budget
money
by
in there
pulling
for
some
it.
out of
That's
contractual
right, we're already in
services of
June.
some kind.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, they're being
position
paid out of
Okay.
contractual services,
Yeah.
what they
So,
do on that
well,
one.
y'all tell me if I'm misstating this, but we're just moving money for this position. Brandon and I had a meeting last week, and IT needs
Someone got it.
additional, well, they need this now, and they need some additional resources, and there's probably gonna be a request for at least one or two more positions, moving into next year that we'll discuss during budget. So what we discussed was getting this done. You'll also see on the referral agenda on Monday, there's some, items about some new software that, quite frankly, he's using some other money to go ahead and get because we need it in place, quickly, and then we'll shift that around with the item coming up next Monday. But there's going to be a request to sort of redo that office in essence, and staff that office in a different way that's coming up during the budget. So I say all that to simply say there's a much longer discussion about the staffing of the IT department that's coming up in budget. This is just,
An emergent need.
he's triaging right now. And this and the software are the first priorities.
Well, and I guess, back to all the conversations we're having right now, and I get it, and I appreciate you saying this was the one that needs to happen, but what I don't wanna be in a situation that over the summer, we keep on getting these triage positions, and we don't know how the full picture is. It's easy to say yes thing when we're getting them piecemeal,
Yeah.
but it's hard to get a full sense of all the dollars we're actually approving.
And that's the conversation that Brandon and I actually had this week, was this position was already in the works, but the new positions need to be reviewed along with the new positions of all the other departments and the existing positions of all the other departments, because our job as a council is to look at not just one department and how it's staffed, but how the entire city is staffed, and is that done correctly, and are we allocating manpower and resources for manpower correctly amongst the departments?
I mean, it's June, I mean, we're gonna be.
Yeah,
2 months
we're
from now,
yeah.
we're
It
gonna
will
be-
be
we're
in
almost
those-
there.
That's what I mean,
I mean, the
no,
money's
it
already
is June,
there.
but we're not
You
waiting
don't
till
transfer anything.
September right now for this
Salary
position.
line.
Yeah,
So I just
no.
wanna make sure that we're not
So you
doing
just
this.
do it.
And also getting a sense of how the dollars are being transferred, if there are gonna be new dollars, what is the thing,
Yeah.
just the.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, the good
Just
news is
information.
this position was already approved, so
Right.
the money's already there in the budget.
Well, for the part,
allocated.
which is,
For-
it's a lower, yeah.
Well, no, for the money was already there for the tech position.
Tech.
They've been
Correct.
using
Correct.
they've been using
I see
the
what you're
part-time
saying.
guy, yeah, they've been using the contractual services money for the contract guy, but this position was already in the
It's
budget.
already in the salary
So
line.
it's just changing it from
55
the
to
tech
7.
position to
Yeah,
systems
it's a
administrator.
$15,000.
Yeah.
Which is still
Counselor
less than
Smith.
what we're paying.
The part-time
people.
contract guy, yeah. So-
Counselor Smith, do we know the hourly rate of the current contract person?
$150 an hour.
There you
is
go.
what we pay.
And do we know how many hours approximately have been billed this fiscal year?
So, I have to go look to see if they can even give us a breakdown for hours specifically for him. But ever since I moved them to, specifying a scope of work for each block of hours, they charged us, it was right at $13,000 for this past month, for May.
For the month.
For him, yes.
So, yeah, this'll be a
Good.
savings.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
Upgrading the, PC network tech to the network system administrator.
Alright.
Yeah.
Motion. Second
Just want
from
more information.
Mr. Waltley. Alright,
Let's stick with the information.
all in favor, please
Aye.
say aye.
Aye.
4-0, that is approved and will be in council on Monday night.
Hey, it sounded good, Carl.
080524, request for consideration of budget amendments for the fiscal year 23-24 Public Works transfer to street materials and supplies and parks transfer to travel and conference. And I have an email that outlines all of this, unless you would like to take that, Berkeley. I can just read out exactly what that
Yeah,
is.
I'm just moving it from one line, I got one, Rusty's gotta go to the, a conference for his CEUs in, September. And I've also got two of the new employees are going to get their CEU credits as well.
Okay, and
And
so,
then-
is that Ben and Sawyer?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the Public Works, wait.
It's just adding to, on our street materials and supplies, and some work we're doing in some of the alleys.
And some dump fees.
Yes. and-
Because shockingly, y'all,
and the
we're
dump
still
fee.
dumping from the storms.
Yeah, if you ride by, if you wanna see the pile, it's still there.
Yeah, so we're still working on, reducing the pile from tornado damage in December.
We haul 5 days a week.
Mhm.
Make a
Yes.
motion up first.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I have a motion from Mr. Gwaltney to approve those, budget transfers, and, have a second from Mr. Alwan. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, 4-0, those are approved. And then our final item is 090524, request permission to adopt the Division G multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan and have the mayor sign a validation statement from Chief Broadhead and Mr. Smith.
Yeah, so, Division G multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan came out in 2022, and it replaced the Jefferson County mitigation plan. So Division G covers these counties, that are up here, and it basically covers flooding, firestorms, hurricanes, earthquakes, mitigation. It makes recommendations. It doesn't compel the city to take any action. We adopted, these mitigation plans come out every 5 years. Before this one came out, we had adopted Jefferson County's mitigation plan every 5 years. For some reason, this got by us and we didn't realize it until we were doing all of our CRS prep and getting ready for the FEMA recertification that happens on June 26th. So we're trying to get this adopted before that recertification happens.
Okay. And so you have to have approved this prior to being FEMA recertified?
That's right, and the benefit of it is it does help with our CRS credits, and also it opens up FEMA funding for grants.
Okay.
And is this AEM, is Alabama Environmental Management?
That's right.
Can I ask why this is in finance?
Is there money involved?
There's no money involved except for it opens it's a contract and the mayor has to sign a letter. And those typically come here.
And then also, I think you also said there might be grant funding opportunities.
There
as
are
well.
opportunities, right, but
Yeah.
there aren't any
Yeah, not
specific
currently specific.
requests.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I make a motion to approve, the Division G multi-jurisdictional
Okay.
jurisdiction.
All right, motion from Mr. Harden. Second from Mr. Gwaltney. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, 4-0, that is approved. And With no other items, we are adjourned. I don't know, not me, I'm not on the committee. I'm already cheering too.
I will chair, I'm chairing public works
You
when
are.
we get to it, but we're, yeah.
That's okay, no, this is not.
He's on the northwest
Every one of
coast.
these is valuable. We're appreciative. I've still got four items. Okay, good, yeah, keep good.
Public Safety Committee meeting for June 3rd, 2024. Counselor Gwaltney.
Here.
Wolverton. Jones is out. Nelms.
Here?
And Harden.
Here.
You got three.
Alright, so, this time I'll entertain a motion to dispense the reading and approve the minutes from the Public Safety Committee meeting from May 13th.
So moved.
Second?
Counselor Nelms for the second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay. With the noes, 3-0. The ayes have it. No items under old business. Under new business, request for the mayor to sign an agreement with the city of Mountain Brook for fire equipment. Chief Broadhead emailed and said that Battalion Chief Glover would be covering this tonight. Do you want to give us some details?
Absolutely. So we already have these in place with Vestavia as part of our working towards a mutual aid agreement, an automatic aid agreement with the Denver Mountain cities. And basically it boils down to where we can borrow equipment back and forth from each department if necessary. And it's all part of the process of us working towards an automatic aid agreement with Mountain Brook and Vestavia.
So the same agreement we have, I know
We
we have.
already have that with Vestavia, it's just working. So the process with Mountain Brook has been delayed. They wanted to get Chief Broadhead in place, or have a chief in place before they would really start negotiating and talking to us about getting it all done.
And this also helps with our ISO rating.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, thank you. And also our ISO rating of 1, that all goes into effect because we can borrow off of each other's accounts to help each other out. So it's just a benefit all the way around for everyone.
What's an ISO rating?
Insurance, the insurance standard.
So basically.
Yeah, so.
Well, you know better than I do.
The insurance ratings, I think there's two different types of insurance ratings out there. So they classify them ISO rating 1 through 10, 1 being the best. In the past the last time we went through underneath the rating system, we found it became a class 1, and it allows for it's really mainly businesses that it affects more than it does homesteads, but it allows a lower rate.
And you get that rate by?
So we have there's a handful of things that go involved.
But this is one of the things, sharing.
Yes, ma'am. So the amount of equipment that we have there that goes towards it, personnel, water supply. There's a multitude of things, and this helps ladder trucks and things of that sort go all count and count points towards a certain point system to get us there, and that it just adds to our supply.
It was what, 16 or 17 that we went from 2 to 1? Is that correct? Or is it?
It was 18 or 19.
18. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
It was right before. It was one of the things right before Chief President.
Yeah. And so there's no cost associated with this either. Otherwise, it'd be financed. So, any other
I'll make a
questions?
motion to have the mayor sign the agreement with City of Mountain Brook Fire
Okay.
Equipment.
Second.
Second by Counselor Nelms. All right. Motion by Counselor Harden, opposite. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, 3-0. 11:05:24, request for the mayor to sign an agreement with the Regional Training Institute for clinical rotations with the Homewood Fire Department.
So
Battalion Chief Glover.
the regional RTI is who we've been using for our paramedic training, or for all of our EMS training here recently, and part of the training includes having to do rotations in the field. By us having this agreement will allow a couple of things. One, the people that we have in school now can do their rotations while they're on duty, so it cuts down the amount of time that we have to compensate them for being off, or have them off duty and having somebody fill in their place. And the other side is that we can also allow people from outside that are not, as a recruitment piece, people that are looking for jobs. We'll have them coming in to ride with us and be around us, and we can recruit new personnel and kind of use this as an interview, a little informal recruiting or interview process.
There's no money involved.
No, sir.
No money, and Mr. Kendrick reviewed the contract.
Okay.
So,
I'll make a motion for having the mayor sign the agreement with the Regional Training Institute for clinical rotations.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Harden, second by Counselor Nelms. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, 3-0. 120524, request for consideration to expand the entertainment district in West Homewood. Counselor Alomar. Would you like to speak to the West Homewood Entertainment District?
Yes, sir. No, we have been talking with Kale and President White about expanding it, and really it's just so as we're developing the former Econo Lodge development, and they're gonna have 2 restaurants there that we wanna be able to expand there. And we also are expanding to the corner where, in front of, yes, at Hatfield.
There's a map. Do you have a map?
There is a map.
The map?
Oh, this, my bad, yeah.
So as you see,
There you go.
Yeah.
it really just expands on the side heading closer to Oxmoor Road over there by Scott and Cobb. It doesn't get to the residential part, and so we did that purposefully, so it'll only be on the front end facing the restaurants. And then it goes all the way to the corner where Pizzeria GM is, and so we're happy about that, and gets the other side of the street where it was previously not part of it. No, this is the proposed.
The proposed map.
Oh, you're missing the corner where they are you not?
Confused.
Yeah.
No,
Am I confused?
that's the Chevron.
Okay.
The upper northeast corner that's white, that is the current Chevron. And
Yeah.
if you come, the development is behind it, so that's where you see the kind of
The white.
the green jagged one that's coming down toward the Waffle House property, Nexus Fitness and all that.
It's not right, cause they bought
It's-
that piece on Cobb.
Yeah, but you don't
No.
need to zone the residential.
Oh,
piece.
you're right, I apologize.
Yes.
Yeah, they just want the restaurants, I'm sorry.
Okay.
My bad.
Yes. We're not gonna have, the entertainment district in the
Yeah, I got it.
residential part.
Darn.
That's up to the residents.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
are
we're
there
excited about that.
any questions about this item? And I assume, does this have to go through Montgomery once we approve it as well for the modification? No? Awesome, okay.
Okay.
It's just us.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Motion by Counselor Nelms,
Second.
second by Counselor Harden. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, 3-0. 120524 is passed. 130524, request to authorize an ordinance to prevent non-authorized vehicles, motorcycles, golf carts, etc. on the Greenway phase 1 and 2 trails.
Okay.
This came to us from Counselor Jones. I think it's pretty, I assume it's pretty straightforward, but
Has there been, and I've never
Interesting.
ever seen.
Yeah, there are
Okay.
problems
On
with-
phase
Mhm.
2.
So
Majority.
Counselor Jones called me from the trail one day, he was out there walking and there were motorcycles. speeding
Yes.
up
Oh my
There-
God, are you serious?
Candace and I were walking, and there were these 2 guys on little mini bikes, and I actually got out in the middle of the trail and was walking directly in front of him,
Don't do that.
and he whipped around me and said some not nice things. And Walter, I think, said something to the guy. He's like, "You can't stop me." And Walter was like, "Actually,
Well.
I can."
I've never
Yeah.
seen.
well,
Yeah.
it's not safe in general just because of the speed of a lot of those vehicles, and you never know who's going to be on the trail, going to be running.
define what is non-authorized.
Is that supposed to be non-authorized motor vehicles, or is that an intent in the verbiage, or is there just gonna be a list of?
Could we just say bikes and?
Bikes are on there.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, but I mean, bikes are good, bikes and.
Right.
What about electronic?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
e-bikes.
motorized.
There's a lot of people with electronic bikes.
Yeah.
How about, I mean, we've got motorcycles and golf carts so far, do we need to add to that list?
Well, you could have a,
Go-kart.
yeah, 3.
No motorized vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, the scooters,
ATVs.
the scooters that have the electric scooters.
Yeah, that'd be motorized.
Yeah.
I mean, I would include
I
that
feel like
for sure.
anything electric's okay though, right?
Yeah, I think the electric bikes are fine. No? I think some
Golf carts are
folks
electric.
can.
My sons can get up to 35 miles.
I think they're too fast. I do.
But I, like my brother-in-law's got one of those
One-wheel.
bikes that it's got electric on it, and when
Well,
he needs
they
to go
could-
electric,
They
he's
could
75
ride
years
it
old.
if they didn't make it electric, cause you can ride it without the
Yeah.
electric part. I would say no motorized vehicles and include everything.
Yeah, I hate those scooters. They're terrible scooters.
Power Wheels? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Power Wheels.
So that's to include electronic bicycles?
And scooters.
I think it should,
Mr.
yeah.
Smith, your thoughts?
I
Was
mean,
your intention motorized vehicles basically combustible?
I just need to know to put the ordinance in, right?
Yeah.
What's the will of the?
Scooters.
I mean, for me, like, I think that I don't wanna go overboard on something and overcorrect
Right.
for something.
Right.
And
Right.
let's just,
Right.
if we remove the golf carts and the more, and just
we
the
still
more
say-
dangerous for sure things, and then we could see
Yeah. Well,
if we
I
need
mean,
to expand it.
And I will say, I've never seen an e-bike on the trail.
I saw an e-bike went, and they were fine, they were going a normal speed.
Yeah.
But
They
I
just
mean,
use
those
it.
things can get up to like
I'm sure they
35
can,
miles
but I
an
think
hour.
on the trail they were using it normally, and I'm sure that once they get off, they
started
use it
to
for the
move.
assistance.
Yeah, you're on a
They may
bike,
just
right.
move
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
there's the
they're
kid
doing it
across
to
the
do with
street
the
from me
family.
was in
Yeah.
this little electric car, he's 3 years old. And I can see someone taking their kid's electric car with them on that trail,
Yeah.
you know.
I think that we're not gonna be giving tickets to kids.
I am, Carlos, I'm after.
Counselor Gwaltney,
Yes.
related to this ordinance, I mean, just in regards to the language too, I'm sure there'll be a provision in there, but, just wanna reference it for the sake of discussion, which is that emergency personnel could use an ATV or similar vehicle.
Well, they're
in-
official.
In
Definitely.
instances,
They're
right,
authorized,
where they're,
Yeah. I don't
oh, so that, that
Mr.
would be,
Kinner, we wouldn't have to exempt that, right? Cause that would be assumed.
I have a car that goes up and down it picking up trash.
I would
Yeah.
not consider it
Right.
authorized, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion to approve this, with motorcycles and golf carts.
Motor vehicles.
Motorized.
vehicles.
Motorized vehicles.
Okay,
Anything with gas.
okay, that's motorcycles and golf carts, right?
And motorized.
They're motor
Yeah, electric.
cycles.
I mean, I don't know how you wanna do it.
Yeah, we could go back and grab the electric if we get that.
Yep.
Okay.
Will there be like a
combustible
signage,
vehicles.
will there be signage saying as such, or is that?
You have to put signs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sign.
I can work on the sign.
Yeah. Well, you're.
Berkeley can-
Berkeley.
Berkeley.
So we can go ahead and assign responsibility
I can
for
get
this.
Randy to, we
You
can
with
get
Randy?
Randy to do it.
Okay. You would-
I can get my guy, we'll get him to make signs, my guys can put them up.
Okay. All right.
And
so-
maybe put, the,
Ordinance. What's it?
the what?
Ordinance number?
Yeah, the ordinance number on them,
Yeah,
so that people won't steal
Picture
them.
Barry shaking her finger.
I like that. I'm down with that.
So,
It says Greenway, phase 1 and 2, it just needs to be Greenway.
Yeah.
fair enough.
I'll bring it.
Yeah, it needs to be the whole thing, but I think Walter's
Anywhere on the
experience
Greenway.
and my experience was we were
On
on that
phase
new
two.
phase, but yeah.
Right, yeah.
Any,
Greenway.
any of our
It's for
trails,
Greenway.
yeah,
All parts of it.
so that's all of it,
Okay.
yeah.
Mr. Kennard, do you have everything you need?
Think
We've
so.
got a motion.
I'll
I'll send it to
Have a
you, I'll
second.
look at it.
Okay.
Unlike you,
Any
I
other
don't
discussion?
want
All right, all those in
No.
favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Aye. The ayes have it, 1305-24 passes. With that, public safety is adjourned.
Thank you.
John, you. Public Works Committee meeting for June 3rd, 2024. Counselor Gear,
Here.
Sims. Here.
Nelms,
Here.
Harden.
Here.
All right, you got 4.
All right, great, thanks. So to get started, I'd entertain a motion for the dispense of the reading of the minutes and approval.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's a motion by Harden and seconded by Nelms. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that it passes 4-0. There's no old business, new business. Item 140524, request permission to remove trees in the right-of-way at 310 St. Charles Street, Cale Smith.
You have that photo, Brian? Yeah, so these were the 3 trees. Earlier today, the applicant, who's the homeowner building the house, called and said that, asked what the arborist said about the trees, and I forwarded the arborist report to you guys. And I said that he suggested that they were healthy, and then he was like, the homeowner said that he wanted to not cut the trees down, but just trim the crepe myrtles. And I talked to Jamie about that, and Jamie says that they let the homeowners trim crepe myrtles in the right of way.
We didn't plant them, so they got mine.
Yeah, I don't know that there's an indemnification agreement needed for that, so it feels like we might just need to drop the item.
So was this homeowner request or city request then?
There's a homeowner request.
Okay, perfect. All right.
I make a motion to drop.
All right, that's a motion to drop. A second.
Second.
Second, I was gonna say I'm fine with them moving them because they're messy and that one on the end doesn't look good. I guess it's the, not the crepe myrtles, but the other one doesn't.
Mhm.
It doesn't
Okay.
look good at all. It's only like half a tree. But if they wanna keep them, I mean, it kinda covers up their new house. I guess they're probably gonna trim them way back and make them smaller, much smaller. So sure, it's fine with me.
Yeah. So there's a motion
Yes.
from Counselor Harden and a second by Counselor Gear. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. So that is dropped 4-0. And without anything else, Public Works is adjourned.
Special Issues Committee meeting for June 3rd, 2024. Counselor Smith,
Here.
Gear,
Here.
Allemon,
Here.
Sims,
Here.
Andrews.
Here.
Alright, got everybody. Should I get it,
So moved.
English language, yeah. Okay, motion to, dispense
Second.
with the reading and approve the minutes, and a second from Mr. Sims. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
5-0, that is done. Old business 180424, request to transfer all future sign requests to be handled by the Board of Zoning Adjustments. We still need to meet with Mr. Smith, and he actually reached out to us about meeting, and we were all in various states of not being here. So can you look at your calendar and let us know, like, maybe when you would be available to chat about that?
Sure.
Is that good? Will you email us? Okay. So we will let him get to us about when we can meet, and we will talk about that, and we will get back to it. So carrying over that at the moment. And of course, the item starter is not here. New business, 150524, request for consideration of a sign variance at 817 Green Springs Highway, The Edge, Candace Watson Signage Inc. and Wyatt Pugh.
Hey, everybody, yes.
Oh, hey Don. Sign in.
What's your name? Don Hawes, Haws. Candace does not like speaking in front of people.
So she sends you.
So she
Got it.
sends me.
Okay.
Thank you, Don.
All right, it's a proposal to put a wall sign that is okay in area. It's internally illuminated, which is permitted, but the height of it is 64.5 inches. The maximum allowed is
Bless you.
36. The maximum allowed is 36 on any letter or image, so.
Okay, and this is on the front of that the new building?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what other signage is there going to be?
That's it right there.
Oh, that's it? That's
Yeah.
the one? Okay. Well, that's unusual.
Won't there be a monument?
Yes, but I mean, not the building itself. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, but that's the only, and that's allowed, one wall sign's allowed, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
that's the only.
The only is just the height of the.
Not behind.
There's no monuments or anything else?
There is a monument, but I think they're allowed to have a monument, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
the
allowed to have a
monument does
monument.
not require a variance.
Right,
It's
yeah,
compliant.
and that, cause I think since there's multiple businesses, they'll have the multiple businesses on the monument sign.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Alright, motion to approve from Mr. Allemon, second from Ms.
I have a
Andrews.
question.
Oh, yes.
Do we need to set this for a public hearing?
Yes, we do. So the motion included setting a public hearing for, Mike, what is the, soonest we could do that? June 24th, so motion to approve, motion to send out without recommendation pending the
Yes.
public hearing that we are setting for June 24th.
That's exactly what I meant.
That's,
And I seconded that.
and that is what Ms. Andrews seconded, so, public hearing on June 24th, Monday night, next door, you know the drill.
Gotcha.
And we will see you then.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you very much. All right,
Uh-huh.
appreciate it.
All right, okay, and then 160524, request for consideration of a sign variance at 190 Vulcan Road, Birmingham Luxury Motors, Allen Cobb, Alabama, Signorama, and Wyatt Pugh. Once again, Mr. Pugh. Okay.
I'm not Alan, that's my permit clerk, but same way, he doesn't come. He
Okay,
doesn't come.
okay, all right.
Your name, sir?
Chris Swain,
Chris Wayne?
yes.
request is for the same thing, the copy height. There's a logo, which is an image, which they propose to be 53.76 inches tall. Again, the ordinance maximum is 36, and that's the only variance request.
That
Is
is,
this also, is that GERD? That's not GERD, is that GERD, I'm sorry.
what
Oh, it's
zoning?
C5
Okay,
is the zoning over there.
okay. Wait, hold on, tell me where I am.
It's up Vulcan coming down,
You know the old,
Behind Jim
the old
Jim and
federal.
By Jim and Nick's.
yeah, right up there.
Use food for me, that always works.
That's a good one, that's all.
I drove by there, looks, definitely over there, and it looks really great.
That's right.
Yeah, okay, all right, so, this would also need to be set for a public hearing on June 24th.
Send out with our recommendation pending public hearing.
Okay.
On the same date?
Yeah, June 24th.
that as well.
It would be, so, hold on, just one sec. So, motion, to send out without recommendation pending public hearing on June 24th that we're setting from Mr. Alman, second from Ms. Anderson again. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, 5-0. That meeting will be at 6 PM on June 24th, Monday, which in the room next door in city, in council chambers. Yeah, 6 PM, and, it'll be a public hearing, you'll get to come out, show the image, and if they want to, they can be. It really, as long as you're there to kind of explain what the deal is, they can be there or not, depending on.
So all I need to tell him now is that it's been approved pending.
Well, it's not approved,
Oh,
we
I
have to,
know.
from here, we have to send it out, right, without any recommendation, but pending that public hearing, because that allows other people, if they wanted to come to speak to it, they could.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome, have a good night. All right, and with that, we are adjourned, sorry.
Hey,
Oh,
Mary.
yep,
I know you can adjourn, but just if everybody, just really quick, I know this is odd, but I never get you all together, so I have some, so I'll be making a few upgrades in here. But one of the things that I wanted to